Hey guys, sorry about that. This is New York Dan, part two. Yeah, there was a little bit more. I was just starting to talk about Gene Hackman. My memory card filled up. Too many cruise videos. I got to go through and figure this out and switch. I keep saying this. I have another memory card to switch so I wouldn't have any problem. I have a 500 gigabyte memory card that I need to put in my phone. Keep procrastinating. It's terrible. But anyway, yeah, I was talking about Fran Blanche's channel, Fran Lab. She mentioned Gene Hackman. I want to see this movie. I want to at least look for it. It was called The Conversation. I want to see it. And apparently he geeked out in the movie and he did all these like things with electronics or like maybe like spy devices and things like that. Yeah, I want to see that. It sounds like a cool flick. I got all these notes here. I'm going crazy. Look at all this. These are all my notes here of stuff I got to do as well. Oh yeah, the stocks, man, they took a beating. That's been a roller coaster ride. Craziness. I'm going to move some stuff around and I think CCL, Carnival Cruise Line, that doesn't always happen where you get like a hunch that I think it's going to be going up to like 35. That's what I think. In the next couple months. Yeah. That thing got beat down for no reason. I'll tell you what happened. Norwegian Cruise Line, which they've had problems. Norwegian is the smallest of the cruise lines compared to Royal Caribbean and Carnival Corp. During the pandemic, they borrowed a lot of money, or they ran up their debts and they committed to buying new ships. They had contracts. Yeah, you saw the Norwegian Aqua in my cruise video, the one where when I saw Epstein's Island. Where was I? What place was that now? St. Lucia? No. Nope. That must have been near St. Thomas. That's where the island is. So I saw excuse me, I saw a Norwegian Aqua, brand new ship in the port of St. Thomas. I filmed it. It's really cool. But those ships cost so much money. Long story short, Norwegian ran up too much debt. They have to pay for those ships. They had a bad earnings report. So Royal Caribbean and Carnival got slammed because of Norwegian's bad earnings. It makes no sense. The analysts on Wall Street they work for hedge funds and investment people's like retirement investors and stuff. Those guys are dummies. They're selling, so they sell Royal and Carnival Corp because Norwegian had a problem. It's the silliest thing I ever heard of. The problem Norwegian has is a lot of their customers are going to Carnival because they have better pricing. They're losing business. That's what the deal is. And Norwegian, the problem is they have to keep the prices of the cruise higher because they're paying off their debt and for all those new ships. That's what's going on. So meanwhile, Carnival came out with earnings the other week and their earnings were great. So I'm really confident. I'm going to buy in more, buy in heavier to Carnival. I think it's a golden opportunity. This is just what I'm doing. I'm not giving advice. I don't get paid for that. Yup. I'm going to be loading up on it. I trade it kind of. I kept it a while. I made money on it. Then I sold it off at a certain price point. I forget when it was in the summer. And then I watch it. I monitor it. I saw it went up in the 30s. And then when I pulled back from the 30s and it had good earnings, then I started buying back in. But now it dropped down even more. I can get an even better deal. The thing is, the earnings report tells you what the company's doing. And now with 2 good earnings reports under their belt, and I just was on the cruise and it was like sold out and it's busy, busy, busy. I'm like, yeah, that's going to be good. And hopefully, you know what happened? The AI also, a lot of people, these companies got pumped up. The P ratio is ridiculous. All these AI plays, right? Yeah, no kidding. We knew that would happen at some point. They got overly pumped up and then they crash down and it pulls down the market. What does Carnival Cruise have to do with damn AI? That's what I want to. Riddle me this, Batman. Yeah, what the heck does that have to do with AI and why should that be punished? Seltzer water, guys. No alcohol. Actually, I haven't had any alcohol today. They're going to see this. They'll be like, oh, he's drinking vodka. Vodka. No, this is not vodka, guys. This is seltzer water. Oh, it may have gone a little flat. I don't know. Got it for $1.09. And they charged me a bottle fee. A bottle. 5 cents. So anyway, yeah. Instead of merging these videos, I'm going to post them as a part 2 and a part 1. Talked a little stocks. We mentioned that movie, the Gene Hackman movie, to try. Yeah, he was actually in. Speaking of Gene Hackman, we've talked about this on my channel before. The original Poseidon Adventure. What a scary flick that is. Gene Hackman was in that. He was the priest that said, we got to go up. We got to go toward the top of the hull, which was upside down. I'm not going to give the whole movie away in case you guys haven't seen it or you want to watch that. But let me tell you, do not watch that movie if you have a cruise booked. No. Wait till you get back from the cruise to watch it. The Poseidon Adventure, the original one. Don't watch it before a cruise. It will scare you. You'll cancel it. It will scare you. And the funny part is, I can tell you this much, that was filmed on the, is it the Queen Mary? It's a ship that's a hotel cruise ship now, or a museum cruise ship. It's docked in California. Yeah, it was not even filmed on, I think the ship was already mothballed. It was turned into the museum when they filmed it. So it's not anything realistic, guys. If you watch that, you'll cancel your cruise. Yeah. And I do say everyone has to try a cruise in person before they just say, oh, that's not for me. Yeah. You got to at least try it in person. I kind of played it up on Venezia when we were in the seas, the storm. Yeah. The ship was going up and down a little, but the stabilizers kept it from side to side. It kept it pretty smooth. If you're in the middle of the ship, it wasn't that bad. You feel a little vibration. You feel like it's going like that. Just a little bit. But like your drink will stay on the table. Yeah, I kind of played it up for the videos, you know? Don't be scared about it. It's not bad. I'd rather be on that any day of the week than being on a damn airplane. You see what happened with that bad crash, that UPS crash that just happened? Man, the thing, forget it. You're going so fast, and then you got all that fuel on board. It just, it turned in, that was a terrible accident. I don't know exactly what happened. It was an MD-11. It's a tri-jet. It had 3 engines. And I thought those were really safe planes because I looked at some vintage videos on YouTube about them. This is way before the accident. I remember watching some of the stuff about those. And they said the third engine on those tri-jets, it's in the tail, it's very powerful. And then it had 2 other jets on the wing. And they said the thing was incredible. Like the test pilots were saying it could almost climb straight up because the tail engine is so powerful. And you have 3 engines. I thought that plane was great. But you know what? The problem is it was overloaded probably with cargo or fully loaded. And it had a lot of fuel on board, which made it heavy if it was going to fly to Honolulu, Hawaii. That's where it was headed when it crashed, when it took off in the States. And they said what happened was there were flames were coming out of one of the wing-based engines. As soon as it was taking off, there was a problem with the engine. But I'm surprised. I thought they had enough power that they could keep the plane in the air and fly it with the 2 remaining engines. I don't know, that is a strange one. But that's what I'm talking about, why I don't like flying. I really don't like that. If something goes wrong, you're going real fast and you're in the air. Okay, you're on it's so funny. People get nervous about the cruise ships. And they're like, oh, I wouldn't want to be on that thing. Oh my God, it's rolling around. Yeah, well, I got news for you. It's a huge ship. It's designed for the ocean, right? And even if the engine had a problem, you're already floating. You're not going to sink just because the engine stops. Like a plane, if the engine stops, it's going down. And there's also multiple engines on those cruise ships. The one I was on, I think I geeked out and looked it up one time, and it has like V16s or V12s. They're huge diesels. And it has something like 4 of these huge engines. And I think they mainly only use like 2 of them at a time or something. And it runs electric azipods under the ship. The propulsion's electric. So it has multiple of these diesel generators on the ship. So it's very unlikely that you would have a problem with the cruise ship. And even if an engine broke or you had a fire in the engine room, it wouldn't disable the ship. You know that poop cruise on Netflix? Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. And I'm also going to talk about the lady on Netflix that disappeared off a cruise. That's coming up on the channel. But I just wanted to set this part clear. The whole thing with that poop cruise, there was a fire in one of the engine rooms. And the way they designed the ship, they had an electrical system where the cables ran through. All the cables from the second engine room ran through the first engine room. And that's where the fire was. So it messed up the cables. So even though one of the engine rooms was undamaged, they couldn't get electricity to run the ship because it went through the second engine room. Well, after that happened, they changed that. They made sure that these engine rooms the cables don't run through. They run them another way to a power panel. So if you have something happens where an engine goes on the ship or an engine room fire, you still have a fully operatable engine room because there's more than one engine rooms. So the ships, those things are safer. I trust the ship. I don't trust airplane. I don't like that one bit. Air travel. God, I hate that stuff. And the other problem is they go up so damn high. Yeah, you fly over the clouds or above the weather, but you could still hit. It's very dangerous. You're going through weather systems when you come in for a landing and when you're ascending up there, and even when you're cruising, even way up there's turbulence. If there's storms around and stuff, the plane will hit turbulence. Now, and they got to pressurize the cabin. So the whole plane is under pressure. It's kind of like a reverse submarine. So if something goes wrong and you lose that pressure, you'll pass out like that. That's why those oxygen masks come down. Forget about it. On the cruise ship, you don't need that. You don't need that. There's no pressurized cabin. I don't know. I like traveling by sea. I feel comfortable on those ships. I'm also not jammed in like a sardine. Yeah, I think it's the best damn way to travel. I love it. And I'll put video on the channel. I've actually cruised from Brooklyn over to England on a cruise ship. I'll put video on the channel of that. It was before I've only done this channel a year and a half, basically. Or coming up, it will be 2 years since I actively started the channel in like March, I think. So before I had the channel, I did a lot of filming, and I will be putting stuff up. Yeah, cool, really cool stuff like transatlantic, doing things like that. I went around, I did a Baltic cruise around Europe. I went to some cool places. But yeah, it's the best way to go. I like doing, that's the transportation. I went around 4,000 miles on that trip I just did. 4,000 miles. And you don't even feel like you're traveling. It's great. It's the best damn way to travel. And you get to a cruise port or whatever, you don't have to fuss over your luggage. It's in the cabin the whole time. You have a closet. Your shirts are hung up. You just bring a little bag, a beach bag with some of the stuff you need to walk around the island or do an excursion. Yeah, it's great. You don't have to deal with, trying to move luggage around or bring it on a taxi, the whole bit. So, all right, guys. This has been my rant of the day, or my rant of the night. It will be an early morning video by the time this posts. Top of the morning to you, lads. I think I got everything covered.